Hello. So in this video today, I want to explain what consciousness is. And I have a beautiful metaphor. I have a few actually, but I might just share one today and share the others later, but as to what this is. So I'll say consciousness, source, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, okay? What is it? I wrote this really nice, I might just read it out actually, because it's just easier to do that. I wrote a post and I put it in some of the beautiful manifesting groups that I'm in, because we all learn from each other and it's amazing. And I wrote this. Just imagine that you wanted to experience yourself, consciousness, as separate from everything. So separate from the sky, the trees, the birds, even the earth. Well, this is the place to do it. The earth is the place to do it, right? Because when we come here, we believe that we're separate from everything. But it's an illusion, because you can never be separate from source. You can never not be who you truly are. It just is not possible, right? We are always that one thing that is connected to all that is. It has no edge, it has no boundary, it is existence itself. And because we exist, that's it, right? We can't not exist, not ever. We are existence itself. It is unconditional love, and we are all of that. We are all connected, each and every one of us, to the oneness of all things. So this consciousness is not just in me, it's in you, it's in your son, your daughter, your next door neighbor. It doesn't matter what race you are, it doesn't matter what language you speak, it doesn't matter what size you are, it doesn't matter what your name is, it is in everything, and everyone. So the thing is, it's just that we've fallen asleep into the form. So we are this consciousness when we come into the world as a baby, when we're born. If you look into a baby's eyes, they are just pure love, pure consciousness. Their eyes are beautiful, right? They just express love. So I heard this metaphor, and I can't remember who shared this now, but I'm going to do my best to share it as best as I can. And it is, this helps to describe, I have a few of my own too, but this helps to describe who you truly are. I loved it when I heard this. Imagine the whole entire ocean, all of the water within the ocean, and take a little bit of that water and freeze it into ice cubes. In order to do that, you have to lower its vibration by turning down the temperature. You turn the temperature of water down and it freezes into ice, right? And then it's in the form of ice cubes. Nothing new is created and nothing is lost, nothing is taken away. The water just simply appears as in another form. So now ask yourself, is that water now separate from the ocean? No, it's still in the ocean. It's just in a different form. It's just appearing differently. So it was once water and it is now ice, because we lowered the temperature of it and it's now become ice. Did it ever stop being water? No, it can't stop being water. It's not possible, is it? It can't. When it goes back into the ocean, or it is in the ocean anyway, but when the temperature rises, the ice goes back into the ocean. It becomes water again. So all it did was lower its temperature for a while. Form gives the appearance of separation, but the essence of it never changes. So we are like the ice cube, but we're not just the ice. We are the water. We are the ocean. We never ever became separate. We never left source. So now we're talking again about consciousness, about source, about where we came from. We never stopped being what we are. We just came down into a body and we became form. So I became me, you became you, your son is your son, your daughter is your daughter, your neighbor is your neighbor. And that's it. So we seem to go, I just continued with this, right? Because this was my post. We seem to go through all of these life experiences only to discover, oh my gosh, I'm still the whole entire ocean. I never stopped being what I am. The separation was never real. it feels like we're separate because I'm here, you're there, you know, we can touch each other and it seems like we're separate, but we all came from the same energy, the same consciousness, the same source. We came down here into this body. We are still, I mean, you could say in spirit, we just sent some of our energy down into a human body and we became a human being. And then you realize, oh my gosh, I was always whole. I was never separate. There was never anything wrong with me. Because what happens is when we believe that we're separate from our source, from the energy that we are, we start to feel limited. We start to feel broken. We start to feel like there's something wrong with us. But the truth is, we can never be separate from source, ever. It's like, I love that. Here's another quote by Mooji, is it? You're not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop. That's another beautiful one, right? Because, you know, we are the whole entire ocean. This looks like it's just a little drop of the ocean, but in all truthfulness, we are all drops in the ocean. And then when we leave this body, we merge back in with the ocean, back to our consciousness, back to where we came from. So I think that is really beautiful. I'm just going to go back here and see. So yeah, I think that is really beautiful. You know, the thing to remember is that underneath all of the experiences that we have in life, and we've all been, I don't think there's anybody here that hasn't been through an experience in life that they wish they hadn't been through. But underneath all of that, all of the stories that we tell about who we think we are, as me being Tracy, this little human character in this body, all the stories I can tell you about my life, right? Yeah, some of them I wish I hadn't had. I could say that. Um, but underneath all of that is the essence of who I truly am. I am consciousness, source, energy, unconditional love. And I love it when I talk about unconditional love because, you know, I had quite a traumatic childhood. I didn't feel loved because the thing is when we're separate from our source, which is unconditional love, we don't know what true love is. Our love that we experience here as a human is conditional love. Usually what we're really doing is saying, I'll love you if you change, or you're different, or you'll do this thing for me. I would love you, but you're this way and I don't like that. So then we try to change the person. We try to manipulate everything to get exactly what we want. But none of that works. That's all effort done by the human part of us, the consciousness part of us, when we truly know who we are and we start feeling into that and knowing that it's, I point up here, right, because like consciousness is everything. I had my first ever coach described it like this. He drew a circle on a blackboard. This is when I first realized, oh my gosh, I'm not just Tracy, I'm much more than that. He drew a circle on a black whiteboard or something. And he said, this is who you are. This is, let's just say that's consciousness within that circle, right? And it's hard to describe it because if you say inside the circle, you kind of think there are things outside of it, but just say the circle is everything. It's all that is. There's nothing outside of consciousness. It's complete oneness. It's everything within that circle, but we're just using a circle because I don't know how else to do it, right? So just say it's a circle. That is consciousness. That's who you are before you come into a body. And consciousness says, I want to go forth and I want to experience life, and I want to do it somewhere with other me's, because consciousness, if it's all one, can't interact with itself because it's all one. There isn't another. So it created, say, me, you again, your friend next door, your brother, your sister, your auntie, so that we could be here and experience life and play. Now, the thing is, you might say, well, it's not much fun being here because, like I said, we've all been through things that we wish that we may not have gone through. Um, but it's only because we don't know the truth that we are this consciousness and that we can create the kind of life that we truly want to live. The thing is when you come in and you feel separate from everything, you start to become a bit of a victim. I know I certainly did. I was a victim to experiences that I had as a child. Now, those experiences then were real, but then I carried that victimhood into everything. And it doesn't have to be like some traumatic thing that happened to you as a child. It could just be you were at school and your teacher told you you'd never amount to anything. You're never going to be what you want to be. So stop dreaming, for goodness sake, get down and do your work, right? It could just be as simple as that. And then you felt separate from who you truly are. And then you start going, okay, well, I'm never going to be what I truly want to be. So now I don't know, you start doing something else instead of living what you truly want to live. And if you've been told as a child that you're not good enough, um, that you'll never amount to anything, that you'll never succeed, why can't you be more like your sister? You start believing, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me. But it's all just part of the separation. It's all just part of we've forgotten who we are. We've forgotten that we're still connected to our source. We can't not be it because it's where we came from. Remember the ice cube in the ocean. We can't not be it. It's not possible. And we're here, you know, moving around the earth, everybody feeling a bit like lost. And people, when I was stuck in my story, I truly believed that that was my life. That was it. There was nothing outside of that. But it isn't. I promise you that that we are natural creators, right? When you start to align with who you truly are, you are a natural creator. You've been creating all your life. It's just that the thing is when you don't know who you are and you start feeling like a victim, or you're told that you're not going to amount to anything, and you start believing that, you're creating from that identity. We create from our identity of who we believe we are. So you start creating from that identity. And that's why I know for sure for me, and I know this is a lot for us to take in, right? But I am responsible for everything that I create. If I'm creating from an identity, if I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy, I'm stupid, I got called that as a child, then you are creating from that identity. And the thing is the way things work here is that everything is like a mirror. Now, this is done in a really loving way. I wasn't going to go into this, but I'll finish with this, right? This was done in a really loving way because the only way for us to see who we truly are is to come here, forget who we are, become the identity of somebody that's lost and doesn't know who they are. Oh my gosh, I'm such a victim, nobody loves me. I keep going into all of these relationships and I keep getting left. Well, that's my unworthiness identity, right? I don't feel worthy. And everything that we create is created from the identity. So this person that leaves, there's no other choice for that to happen in my reality until I shift my identity, until I start to realize who I am. When I realize who I am, my life changes. I'm not changing anybody outside of me. I'm not doing anything to the world, right? Because that's what we want to do. When our relationships break down, we start to say, well, it's his fault or it's her fault. He did this to me, she did that. And we're projecting outwards. We're blaming other people. Sometimes we blame the world for the way it is, but we never look at ourselves. And I guess that started my journey off when I started going, hang on a minute. I've been in 2 marriages now, 2 relationships, and the only person that was present in both of them was me. And I had another relationship in between that ended quite badly too. And it's like, well, I'm the only one that's always been present. So it must have something to do with me. That's the only kind of insight that I received. And then I started going, okay, there's something here. So I could say accidentally came across my first ever coach, but nothing happens accidentally, right? We are all still connected to our source, and our source It's always trying to lead us home. So when I started by saying about the mirror, right? When things are happening outside of us, when we create from our identity, we might create a relationship, and that relationship may leave us. The person in that relationship might leave us. We might go through a whole, oh my gosh, we're so in love, you know, you truly love each other. We think we love each other because we don't really know what true love is, right? We think we love each other, and then they do something, and then we don't like it, and then, you know, we're creating all of this from the identity of I'm not worthy, or I'm not good enough, or I'm such a victim. People always leave me. My mum left me when I was young, and so of course, you know, people always leave me. That's what you believe is true, and so this is what we create in our relationships. That relationship has to play out that way until I shift my identity. So the mirror, the people in my life, the experiences that I have are always showing me this is what you believe is true about you. And it's done in the most loving way, right? Because how else am I going to start to realize, hang on, something's going on here. It's got to be something to do with me. What is it? And then I start on this journey of realizing, oh, hang on a minute. This has all just been a bit of a game of, I come here, I forget who I am, I think I'm separate from my source. I don't believe I can create anything, right? I believe this is my life. This is it. There's nothing outside of this. Like, and then I start going, hang on a minute, I can actually do something about this. Because if I created all the shit in my life, right? Excuse my French. If I am a bit French actually. If I created all the, well, I am and I'm not, I laugh at that. I'll do a video about that. But if I created all of this shit in my life, right, then I can create the good stuff too. And then I just had to realize that I'm a natural creator. So who we are is pure consciousness, unconditional love, source, the universe, whatever you want to call it. You've probably heard one of these names before. God. Some people say God, and I don't mean the God sitting on a cloud judging everybody. It's just a name for the same thing, okay? But some people get triggered by that. So if I was to say I am God, people would be like, what are you talking about? We'll talk more about that later though, right? But it's all the same thing. They're just words to describe this energy, this consciousness that we are. But trust me, this is who we truly are. If this doesn't resonate with you, fine. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm here to share my journey, right? So that if it does resonate with you, you may start to look at yourself and go, oh, hang on a minute. You know, I've kind of been here in this world, and there have been times when, like, I'm talking about me personally now, and this may be the same for you, when I've been through things and kind of thought, this isn't how things are meant to be. You know, you have this inner knowing. You have this is part of who we truly are, right? This inner knowing that's kind of like, I'm sure it's not really meant to be like this. When I grew up as a child in this really dysfunctional family, let's just call it that, right? And then I left and I had my own children, I decided I was going to do it differently. Something within me said it shouldn't be that way. I just wasn't quite sure what that was, but it's all consciousness. Right, it's all the same thing. So I'm going to stop there. I will do some other videos talking about some different kinds of metaphors that I have. Most of my metaphors are ocean related because I love the ocean. And the ocean is probably, apart from the sky, it's the vastest thing that we have, that we can go, you are this entire ocean. You are as vast as the ocean. I just think that's beautiful. But anyway, that's it for today. Yeah, I will do some more metaphors about who we truly are, because it's really nice when you can feel into it, especially when you're at the start of this journey. But that's it from me for now. So bye for now. I'll see you all again soon.